I'm Paul Richards. I am a member of Skyland UMC, have been a member for a little over 4 years. My wife and I, Lisa, go to the first service normally. And I am a pretty big volunteer with Habitat for Humanity in Henderson County.
And you lead Habitat here at our church,
And I
don't you?
lead Habitat here at the church, yes. I'm happy to announce that Skyland UMC has decided to support the 2020 Thrivent Builds Habitat Interfaith Home for Henderson County Habitat for Humanity. Skyland will be partnering with Henderson County Habitat for Humanity, Thrivent Financial, Advent Health, as well as 11 other churches in the community to support the building of this home. Thrivent Builds is a multi-year, multi-million-dollar volunteer and advocacy partnership between Thrivent Financial and Habitat for Humanity International. Habitat for Humanity is an international Christian housing organization whose vision is a world where everyone has a decent place to live. Thrivent Financial is a financial services organization that helps Christians be wise with money and live generously. Thrivent Financial is the largest non-governmental sponsor for Habitat for Humanity. Through 2016, Thrivent has provided more than $240 million to build or repair 4,900 homes in the U.S. and around the world. Volunteers have committed 5.2 million hours in support of these activities. This is the fourth Thrivent Builds grant that Henderson County Habitat for Humanity has received. The first grant was awarded in 2007, and they have had consecutive grants since 2016. This year's grant award is in the amount of $85,759. The 2020 grant award requires Henderson County Habitat for Humanity to partner with local churches to provide additional funding and volunteers to build the Thrivent Builds Habitat Interfaith Home. Although the impact of COVID-19 is currently restricting us from supporting this build from a volunteer perspective, it is hoped that this situation will change in the near future. For the time being, Habitat for Humanity staff will be moving forward without the support of volunteers to build this home. It is asked that you keep this project in your prayers.
Hello, church friends. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the homeowner selection process in Habitat, and then more specifically about the Thrivent Faith Build House that Paul has already mentioned. The homeowner selection process is a really rigorous process throughout all of Habitat. First of all, it's only for first-time homebuyers. And then after that, the prospective homebuyers submit an application, and there's several things that they have to qualify for. The first is a need for housing. Need for housing is any one of several things. The first one is affordability. If a person or a family are renting and the cost of their rent is over 30% of their gross income, they're qualified. Overcrowding is another issue. If we have too many people in a bedroom or too many people in the house for the number of bedrooms, that's another issue that qualifies for need. Third one is transitional housing or temporary or subsidized or public type housing. And the last one is unsafe or unsanitary living conditions, whether it be in the house or even in the neighborhood. Unsafe neighborhoods is another issue that we run into a fair amount. The second major category is the ability to pay. The homeowners, obviously, they have to qualify to pay off a mortgage that they're going to incur with this house. The homeowners must be low income according to HUD standards, but they also must have enough income, and it must have enough duration behind it for assurance that they're going to have the income. But it must be low income, but it must be enough to afford the mortgage. And finally, credit worthiness. They must, like anyone else, they've got to have a history of credit, good credit qualities. The last issue that they look at is willing to partner. Willing to partner The number one thing that most people think about is sweat equity. Homeowners have to put in 200 hours of sweat equity on these homes. That's, a lot of them will work in construction in the home, or painting, or a lot of them work in the Habitat Restore. If you go in Habitat Restores, you may see people working there who are working off their sweat equity. Another area of willing to partner is attending workshops to improve their understanding of home ownership, understanding of home maintenance, and as well as personal finance. And lastly, they have to undergo a criminal background check, because we're putting together through Habitat communities and want to make sure we don't bring any unwanted elements into the communities. So the homeowner that's been selected for the Thrivent faith-built home that Paul has just mentioned is Mary B. I'll just use B for her last name. Mary is currently renting. Her landlord has increased her rent so aggressively that her rent payments are now over 70% of her gross income. So after taxes, that doesn't leave Mary with hardly anything. She also has only one access to her one-bedroom apartment, and it's through a very steep, narrow set of steps. So Mary has qualified, and Mary is going to be the homeowner for the Thrivent faith-built home. And what we're doing, and we do this with a lot of homes in Habitat, we're doing a stud signing ceremony. So that's what's going on here at the church. Everybody can participate, but we're asking people to come to the church as you can. These studs are going to be here until around August 15th. They're here for you to write messages of hope and inspiration for Mary. And Mary will have an opportunity to see all these studs built into her walls before the drywall is put on. So Mary will be able to read all these and know that they're embedded in her house, and a testament of God's love for the people who built the house as well as embedded inside her home. So just wanted to share that with you, and I certainly wanted to thank the missions team and Joy and Dan for playing a role in sponsoring the Thrivent faith-built house for 2020. Thank you very much.
And Bob, tell them your name, because they may not
I'm
know
sorry,
you.
I'm Bob Blanky.
Yeah, and Bob and Linda joined the church, gosh.
About a year and a half ago.
Has it been that long?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, about a year and a half ago.
So we are
Yep.
thankful to have Bob and Linda as part of our faith body of Christ here at Skyland. Thanks, Bob.
Thank you. Okay.